You know, we all know nowadays it's just not that easy to find a job, and it's even more difficult to find the right job. And it's not enough just to have the right education, the right knowledge, the right expertise. All of those things are very, very important and critical, but the most critical part of the formula happens to be when you stand out, when you're different from the crowd, when you're unique. All right. So what makes you stand out, and how do you stand out? There's a definite process in which to do that. And the gentleman who created the program, it's called Winning in the Work World. There's no other program like it, like this one. The gentleman who created it, he is sought after from corporations and high-level people all over the world. They ask for his advice, and he's with us here today. He's the CEO of Krempel Communications International. It's such a pleasure to welcome to the program Stephen Krempel. Stephen, welcome.
Bob, thank you very much.
Good to have you here, my friend.
Great to be here.
And you have put together a program that has helped so many people out there and will continue to help people. First, let's talk about why you did it. I always like to start with the why behind doing it.
That's a great question, Bob. Let me tell you this first, though. I have 3 daughters.
Okay.
2 of them have graduated from college.
All right.
And when they were in college, I asked my friends, "You have kids in college too?" They go, yeah. I says, after 4 years and tens of thousands of dollars, is your child ready for the work world?
Wow, great question.
And the answer is, most of the time they say, academically, they're prepared.
Sure, sure.
But work world, not so sure.
Different ball game, right?
Totally different ball game.
Yeah.
And the second part was, because I do so much work in multinational corporations all over the world, I help future leaders and high potentials stand out, though. I can teach the college kids exactly what I teach them, because most of my students say, I wish I had this information when I was starting out, though. So I put the 2 together. Voila.
There you go. That's when the magic happens, right?
Magic happens.
But you mentioned it, I mentioned it, the key phrase, standing out. That's what makes all the difference in the world, right?
It does.
So let's go through the program. How can you make an individual stand out from all the rest?
Okay. So there are a couple of different, let me give you the broad view of the program.
Sure.
The program has video elements that you listen to me talking to you about the different elements of that, and I'll show it to you in a little bit.
Okay.
Then there are functional questions, Bob. So this is like when you join an organization, you don't know which function or department you're going to join. You may be the finance, the human resources, could be the marketing, operations.
Right.
We give you the questions that you should be asking your supervisor that makes you look good. You see, it's not the theory you learned in school, though. It is, here's the question I'm going to ask you that makes you look, and the supervisor's probably going to say, wow, that person's pretty sharp, that Bob guy, you know, look at him.
But he wants to help me, right?
He wants to help me. So
is it a view? Is it a perspective type of a thing? Looking at everything from their perspective?
That's exactly the point. So the program helps you think of the content that you learn in college from a company standpoint, from the employer standpoint, though. Most of the times we don't get that perspective. So I'm giving that you right in front, though.
You're right.
Not only that, so that's the 2 elements.
Okay.
The other element you're going to get is the first 90 days, a checklist of everything you need to do for the first 90 days. Now, where do you get that? Most of the time, I don't know about you, when I showed up and I'll go, what do I do, though, right?
Exactly. No, you're right. You're right.
And then the last element we have is actually interviews with senior executives on asking them what do they want from people who join the organization. So they're going to get a whole different views of things from the organization perspective, and that's what the whole program is, though.
That's why I love what you've done, Stephen, because I mean, you know, he's laid it out so easily. It's just step by step, and he's created the pathway, and all you have to do is follow his directions, and it's going to make it easier for you. By the way, go to the website that you see the address on the screen. By all means, go there and find out more. I mean, this can make the difference in living a happy, fulfilled life, doing what you want to do when you want to do it, wanting to go to work in the morning, you know, after you're getting up and everything. It'll make a difference. It really will. So by all means, go to that website and take advantage of it. So you lay it out, you change the perspective, and you are so right. When you think about it, you know, we're taught, you know, learn everything that you can, all right, which is important. We're not saying that's not important.
Nope, it's very very important.
It's
That's
very
your foundation, though.
But in order to stand out, you've got to take it to one more step. Boy, the corporations and the companies must love you for doing it because you've made their job a lot easier.
It is. And you know, the funniest thing, Bob, standing out is actually very easy, though.
Right.
And all I'm doing is showing the people what they need to learn in order to do that from day one. And that's the way it is.
Boy, it couldn't be any easier. It's called Winning in the Work World. And there it is right there. And by all means, you can go on the website and take advantage of it. Moms, dads, grandpa, everybody out there. I mean, take advantage of this and make sure that those that are entering the work world can really be helped by this. Let me ask you,
Sure.
You know, the way the economy is nowadays, you know, people that are, they've been in a career for a while and for one reason or another, they're no longer in that career and they're job hunting. Maybe they've never done that before, but they're not starting out.
Yep.
All right. It's in the latter part of their lives. Can this help them too?
That's what I do on a daily basis, Bob, and I help many people just realize that they've just been missing out on a couple of things. They're functionally very good. In fact, some of them work really hard. But if you don't stand out, when it comes to promotion, there are two names, right? Bob, Steven. So who are you going to promote, though?
Exactly.
Bob's the sharp guy, so he gets promoted.
Right.
So, and that's the key. So anybody, even if they've been in the career for a long time, they should pick this up because they may not be doing just a couple of things they need to do.
Right. What do individuals say that have been through this program? What are some of the comments that you've heard them make? What's it done for them?
Number one comment is, I wish I had this 5, 10, 15 years ago. And I've had people in my class that have been in the companies for 20 years, though.
Wow.
And then when they find out that, you know, it's just a simple thing like a setup statement, which is, what do you say right before you make your point? That's really the important thing, I think, in the show business called a hook. If you don't have that, people are not going to listen to you.
Right.
Most people dive straight into the answer and they don't have the hook, though.
And the attention span isn't that long on the other end, right?
No, it is.
You got to grab right away.
You got to grab them right away, or you have 8 or 10 people in the room, and if you're not saying something different to grab their attention, nobody's going to listen to you.
Right. Wow, I love what you've done. I love the program. I really do. I heartily recommend it. Take advantage of it. Go to the website. It's called Winning in the Work World by the one and only Steven Kremple from Kremple Communications International. And he has traveled all over the world, and people, you know, seek his advice and his expertise and his knowledge. And now you can have that as well and take advantage of it. Any final thoughts, Steven?
Yep, I have this to say, though. Most young entrants, when they get into the work world, will be there for the next 20 or 30 years, though. So why not get a head start and a jump start on your career up early and ride the wave all the way to the sunset?
Exactly. And once again, the way to do that is to stand out. Steven, thank you, my friend.
Thank you very much,
I
Bob.
appreciate it. All right. So go to the website by all means and find out how you or your loved ones can stand out as well.